Heather McDonald has got the juiciest scoop. When you're on the road, when you're on the go, Juicy Scoop is the show to know. She talks Hollywood tales, her real life Mr. Segment serial data and serial sister. You'll be addicted and addicted fast to the #1 tabloid real life podcast. Listen in, listen up. Whoop whoop. Heather McDonald, Juicy Scoop.
Hello and welcome to Juicy Scoop. I am very excited to talk to a new Juicy Scoop guest, another fabulous woman I have discovered via TikTok and Instagram. I am here with model. You must be a model.
No, I'm dying. I'm not a model. I
Oh
just
my God,
have
you're
a really
so
good
gorgeous.
plastic surgery.
No,
I swear, I'm not
she's
joking.
gorgeous, but she's super funny. Amanda McCants. You can find her on Instagram and TikTok. Chris Fitzgerald and I have always talked about acting teachers and LA acting teachers and how they always want to fuck you. And you were like, yes, they do. Okay,
Yes.
so now, and then you started to tell me a story, and I'm like, turn the cameras back on. Tell me your story that you just told me.
Okay, so I had this one acting teacher, and I had just booked my first movie. It was like a low budget movie, but I was really stoked on it. And I had this scene where I needed to make out with my co-star. And so I brought this scene into class. And he was like, as an exercise, I want you to make out with all of the guys in the class. They're going to get in a line, and you have to go and make out with them. And I did. And then he's like, and now you have to make out with me. And he made me like make out with him in front of the whole class.
But wait, hold on. How many guys were there?
I think there were like 3 or 4.
And how long did you make out with each one?
I don't remember. I think I've blocked it out of my mind, but it was a
How
good
many years
like,
ago
3
was
seconds.
this?
I think I was not even 21, maybe like 20.
Okay, so then you had to make out with him. And was there
Yeah.
any touching of the body when you were making out?
I don't think so. But it was in front of everyone.
And how much were you paying to be part of this acting class? That's the only thing. I'm always like,
I
I
was
fucking
in
paid
debt
for this.
I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I think that class, it was a very weird setup. It was very culty. I think we paid like $200 for the whole month. That there were like 5 classes a week. And if you didn't go, you were like scolded and you were made fun of and you were like told like you didn't want this bad enough. You know how they always are like, you don't want this bad enough. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm in the Valley on a Tuesday night. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, if you don't want to.
Yeah.
It's only, there's no small.
there's someone better than you.
Yeah, there's no small parts. There's only small actors. What's your problem? Yeah, like you don't want it. Yeah, I don't want
Yes.
to talk to anybody unless they are ready to be a fucking star. And is this your career?
Yeah, and they sit in the
Amanda,
front of the class.
is this your career or not?
They're like,
What the fuck are you doing?
because there's 5 other girls who could get up here and do that scene better than you. And you're like, then have them do it. And everyone's telling their sob stories on stage. Like, don't get me wrong. I had an incredible acting teacher. My first acting teacher was incredible.
And what happened to that person?
I just moved on to a different class. Big
Okay.
mistake. But he was incredible.
Okay.
But
And
the
he
rest
did not try to make out with you.
No, he didn't want to. He's like, get the fuck away from me. You don't want,
Yeah.
But I feel like the other men, it's just a power play.
Yeah.
I felt it was a huge power play.
And so after the makeout night, when did you like realize that was pretty wrong and inappropriate?
I mean, I think I knew deep down when it was happening, but I use common sense.
Yeah.
No, I think after that there were a couple other things that had happened, and then we just realized like, oh, this is not an acting teacher. Like there were whispers around that like he hadn't even really acted before, and he was saying all this stuff, and it was like a lie, and it was. I think that's when we caught on.
When you watch documentaries on cults,
Yeah.
don't you notice the similarities?
Of course,
Especially
but
with,
I'm
like,
so
The
cult
Vow.
prone.
Especially with The Vow. Have you seen The Vow?
Which one's The Vow?
The Vow is with all the girls that branded themselves with the Rainier. And
Yes,
the girl
yes.
was an actress on like some show, and she was recruiting people. And
Yep, Nexium.
Yeah,
That one.
Nexium.
Oh, yeah, but I'm so cult prone. That's why I'm a sucker for these people, because if someone gives me, or I used to be like this, it's why I dated guys and I morphed into their world, because like I was so scared that like I didn't know anything, or I was like scared to trust myself and make my own world. So if somebody told me that they had their world and all I had to do was like come in and show up, I'd be like, great.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I'm not in a cult.
I think that Netflix is probably the worst thing that's ever happened to cults.
Because they're exposing them.
Because documentaries are like for religion in general.
Yeah.
I feel like the last 3 years of people just watching documentaries on religion and cults and stuff, and you're just like, ew, what the? Yeah, why is this person?
And it's just always that one guy
Yeah.
who's narcissistic, who knows how to talk to people, and that's the common factor. And that's what this guy was doing in this acting class.
And you had to like tongue kiss him?
I remember it being a tongue kiss.
And did any of the guys get a boner?
I didn't ask them.
No, you weren't standing close enough to feel it?
No, I think it was like standing far enough away.
And so then
Awful.
when the month was up, is that when you just didn't renew?
Yeah, I think it's slowly starting to go downhill. I think if you feel so comfortable that you can like make out with your 20-year-old student in front of other people, like that's when you know the power's gone too far and like a collapse of power is coming.
And then would anybody from the class like walk out and leave and be like, I don't know about this?
Of course. I think
Yeah.
after that, and there were a couple other things, there started to be whispers like, we got to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How old
I
was
think he was like 45, almost close to 50.
And you were just like in some sad spot in the valley?
Was
there air conditioning?
It was in Hollywood. There was air conditioning, but bright lights, fluorescent.
Yeah. And then like we were talking about too, about like, anything like that, and especially, and with Groundlings too, do you feel like there's ever kind of like a competition with the girls that because you are such an attractive girl that's actually good, or did you always feel it was like supportive?
First off, thank you.
Yeah.
Second off, when I went there, I was not this hot. Like I want to say, like I did have a big glow up, and I'm self-aware of that. Like I'm okay saying I had a glow up. Other people notice it. My exes I've dated, like
How did you glow up? Tell people how you blew up.
I think
Glow
it
up, glow
was
up.
okay. So when I glue up.
Yeah.
I got my nose job. I lost 10 pounds. It never came back. It was like Ozempic.
Okay.
Then I learned about Botox.
Okay.
I'm happier now.
Yeah.
I weight lift and I do self tan, and I got a sewn in weave that is custom made for my hair, so you can't tell.
Wow. Okay.
So like, and I'm fine saying all of this.
Yeah, I love that you are.
Because even guys are like, when I was dating you, you were cute, but now you're like hot. And I said, I know. And if you got down on your knees
and those
begged
are your,
for-
and you didn't get a boob job.
No,
Those
these are my
boobs.
tits.
Yeah, and
These
they're
are my
perfect
tits.
size for
Thank
your body.
you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And so when I was going there, I wasn't that hot. But I mean, of course there's competition with like girls within themselves, especially funny girls, I think. But there was never like,
Did you feel like there was a negative towards you because you were the quintessential
No, I think I had to
pretty
dumb
girl?
myself. No, I when I went to Groundlings, I did not really do my makeup. I didn't do any of that. I didn't want to. Because back then, even my manager and even people were like, and it's why I started doing this, actually, videos. They were like, people don't get you. People don't get you. Like, I played the same role forever. It was the 15-year-old who would get pregnant and, like, dramatic monologue. They were like, you're not going to be cast as a comedian. Like, that's never going to work. And so I was like, okay, watch. So that's why I made funny videos. And, like, I made
good.
myself prettier.
Yeah. I remember there was this one sketch that Will Forte, used to be on SNL. He was, he was a star of Last Man Standing and stuff. And he was on the show, and he wrote this really weird sketch. This is how weird it was. And then he put it on Jenny McCarthy's sketch show, and Jenny McCarthy played the part. But first we did it at the Groundlings. And all of a sudden, I guess, I don't even know if I was supposed to be like trans or whatever, but I had to wear a bikini. And then he was like a kid with his friend. And then I would come in a bikini on that tiny stage and like hang up a mirror or something. And then the friend would say to Will, who's that? Who is that? And he'd be like, that's my dad. And then like that was a joke. Like he was so weird and quirky back then.
That happening now?
And I used my voice. I wasn't acting like anything, but I was wearing a bikini. And so then afterwards, and I felt pretty confident in the bikini. I was like 24 years old or whatever
Hot,
I was.
yeah.
And I remember afterwards, one of the main company members was there with his girlfriend. And she was like, I mean, are you like anorexic or what? Like, why? And why are you in the bikini? And then I was like, okay, but I still like had to kiss everyone's ass because they were going to like vote on me to
Of
move me up.
course.
And then the guy called me and he was like, hey, I just really want to apologize for like my bitchy girlfriend. And I was like, oh, okay, well, it's fine, whatever. But that's kind of, and then I remember they would be like, you can't always be the pretty girl. And I was like, because I'd see like other characters that would like draw a mustache on their face to just be like an ugly person, and I could not bring myself to do that.
I love that.
So I was a little too vain to do that. Like I could do an old person, but even if I did an old person, it was like an old person,
like a hot old person.
yeah, with like Chanel, and I played like my grandmother,
Yeah.
like my aunt, and I'd be like, "We're going to the Hamptons," and I'd like do this voice.
Of course.
But like I never was like being a complete ugly thing.
Yeah, I see. Like I feel like I went in the opposite direction. Like I wanted to be an ugly thing, to like, you know what I mean. And then they'd be like, "This Amanda, this isn't funny. Like you're just ugly now, playing ugly."
Yeah.
So
I think you got to lean into what you're good at.
play your strengths.
And they'd always say,
that's why I show my tits.
Did they ever say this? Write what you know.
Yeah, that's
That's
why
what they
I play
always
Calabasas
say.
Mom.
Write
Yeah.
what you know.
That's why
And-
when I go ahead.
No, go ahead.
When I went into Groundlings when I was 18, my Groundlings teacher pulled me aside and he goes, "I really need you to get more life experience before you come back because, like, what do you know about?" And I was like, "I know about working at barbecue restaurants and going to Moore Park and going to Florida." And he's like, "You need to grow up a little bit because what are you going to be,
Yeah.
this weird improv kid? You have no point of view on the world."
Right.
I still don't know much more.
No, but I think that is a good, when people
know.
say I remember they said you have a good point of view to
Yeah.
me, because I knew exactly, like I did kind of know who I was, but all the characters I did were just real people that I knew.
Right.
And they were like,
That's the
"You're
money.
doing real people. You're not doing these stock characters." Like someone would be like, "Oh, I need a Southern character," and I'm like,
Right.
"Well, I don't know anyone Southern, so I'm not doing a Southern character. I'm doing my vapid friend. I'm doing my rich aunt, and I'm doing whatever my mom." And I would just do like people, that but so anyway, it's great. The point is, do what you know, write what you know.
Yeah.
And I say this for stand-up too. Like, no one has your life story. No one has your parents. No one has your grandparents. So don't try to write material that you think, everybody wants me to write about being, a pretty slut. If you're a pretty slut, I guess write about that. But like, if write what's unique to your, like, you have a crazy person that you worked with at a clothing store who's like annoying as shit. Like, write that. That's what I do love about the comedic talent I found on like TikTok, because it's like so many different people and they can like lean in. Like, have you seen the girl that does the she's so funny. I'll find her for you if you don't. She does the girl working at the restaurant. She does a series of like the most annoying girls at the restaurant.
Wait, I need to do that. I need to watch that.
Okay, so she walks in with like her keys. She's always holding her keys. And
the girl who came back because she forgot her tips or something, or the girl she comes
and
back
she doesn't
after her
want
off
to
day?
leave, and she feels like she owns it.
Yeah.
And then someone suggested, "Can you do the girl that's fucking the bartender?" And then she like put that someone gave her the suggestion. So then she comes in here and she's like, "Hi," like talking to the guy and like, yeah.
Restaurant content always hits.
And have you seen Jesus, who does all the school teachers?
Yes. Love him.
Yes.
Nails it. The cadence.
So he just did the Christmas pageant at school.
Yes.
Olivia.
Yeah. Oh, you're here for the fourth period? Then you have to check her out. It's the cadence.
Yeah.
It's
not
so
okay.
good.
Not okay. Not okay. I need you to walk away.
Yep.
I reached out to Jesus. Jesus has not written me back, but I'd love to come on, because I'm like,
Incredible.
I need to know the history behind this character.
Yes.
And what I love, you do these characters that are just everything I've talked about in Juicy Scoop about different LA type women. And so I kept seeing it, and the one that really got me to then write to you, because I started to follow you a while back, was the Calabasas Mom.
Hi, it's Denny from Rodeo Realty. What's more expensive, that tree or my boobs? It's my boobs for sure. Absolutely, yes.
They say die doing what you love. Well, bury me in the Calabasas Commons. I'm gonna pack this one up. That's gonna be for the big living room. We're gonna pick that one up. That's gonna be for the actual living room. Get the fuck. I name my kids after things I love the most. Pinot Noir.
No, I'm kidding. Their names are Kat, Bernay. Their names are Lauren and Jack.
For New Year's, the whole family's going to the British Virgin Islands.
Yeah, just to get away from the 101.
I'll take this one.
But Doug, he's got that tummy. It's like me. Thin on top, thick on the bottom.
I got a client on the other line.
Okay, Talk soon. Bye. Did not have a client. She is just annoying. Hi, honey. No, I just bought a whole new pack of LaCroix. They should be in the garage fridge. What was nice about putting the kids through Oaks Christian was Four Seasons was right next door. For Christmas, I asked for a mommy makeover. Everything's getting tightened. Here's the other thing. I donate $20,000 to the school and I still have to stand in the carpool line. What's that about? You can use my Costco card. We're a platinum member. It was your father's Mother's Day present to me. I almost sent the divorce papers. Sorry, not for you to know, for a therapist to know. Okay, I'll call you later. Mommy loves you. Bye.
And I am technically Woodland Hills, but my son went to Calabasas. Woodland Hills is right next to Calabasas. But if we're being completely honest, I'm not in Calabasas. I'm in LA County, Woodland Hills, but it's right close. But I know many people in Calabasas, Westlake, and you did this character. And tell a little bit about the character. Because then I wrote you and I go, you're so spot on.
Well, thank you. Also, the character was softly, you had gone on Jeff Lewis Live that morning.
Okay.
The day I was filming my most recent Calabasas Mom, you went on Jeff Lewis Live. And you were talking about how you got your diamonds at Costco and how you're going to the British Virgin Islands for New Year's. And I was just
God, I'm so honored.
Oh my God, it's great because that character, I don't write anything down. It's all improv, you know, because it just comes to me. I grew up in Moore Park, which is about 40 minutes from Calabasas. So I know these women.
Right, yes.
So then I was just improving and I was saying all the stuff you were saying. And once I posted it, I was like, I have to send this to Heather because it's loosely based off you. So I'm glad that you find it similar. But yeah, that was actually my first character I really ever did. And the one I felt in my bones. Sometimes I'll just do characters, especially if they're moms or just Valley women, 818 women. I feel them in my bones.
So what is your background?
So I grew up in Moore Park.
For those people that know, Moore Park is I always talk about Westlake and Thousand Oaks. It's just past that, but it's before Oxnard. It's before Ventura.
Yeah, to compare it to grocery stores, it's Westlake is Erewhon, Thousand Oaks is Whole Foods, and Moore Park is Vaughn's. I think that is a great comparison.
Maybe it's a little less fancy, but it's still very
kind of.
But it's a little more down to earth. I would say it's a little more down to earth.
Definitely.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of Botox in Moore Park.
Oh, really?
We're Westlake and Thousand Oaks. You get more Botox.
I feel there's an element of Westlake that I'm friends with my one friend, Lainey Ziv, and she's absolutely fabulous woman, Westlake woman.
Great name.
And she has these friends that are the Westlake version of what I call the cupcake ladies. Have you ever heard me talk about the cupcake ladies?
No, let me hear.
Okay, so there's these girls that are friends with Gretchen Rossi of Real Housewives of OC.
Love.
That I follow on Instagram.
Okay.
And I follow a few of them. One is this beautiful Persian girl named Leilani, and she's got long black hair down her ass, and she sells something with hair.
Is it the filters? Do they all put the filters on?
They all do the filters.
Big white
They're
teeth.
all super tiny. They all have excellent work done, but they're probably all were really pretty to start, okay? But then they just enhanced it. And so they have these fabulous birthday parties. And my friend Lainey does this with her friends from Westlake who are a little bit older than the cupcake OC ladies, but they're all fabulously dressed. Mm-hmm. They go to 4 to 5 birthday celebrations a month for the group of girls. So there's always a fabulous birthday.
Right.
And so but the cupcake, I call them the cupcake girls because one girl does do something with cupcakes. But anyway, there's the OC ones with Gretchen Rossi. And they'll do a Tiffany's theme. And it'll probably be a $40,000 party with flowers and the Tiffany blue balloon wall.
It's the balloon walls.
And they show the menu and all. I don't even know if they have time to talk to each other and be like, how's your kid in preschool? Because I think they're just taking photos the whole time.
They're just getting content.
And I don't know what they're eating, but I read the menu and it looks pretty nice, but it's,
Well, they're probably on Ozempic too, so what are they eating?
Exactly. And they're all, you have to show up in Tiffany blue.
Yes.
And then, or they'll be everybody wear light pink, or everybody's wearing white, or it's a red and black party, and every birthday is for the most gorgeous photos of young, tiny OC moms. I love it. I embrace it. I'm not a hater about it.
No, it's just fun to watch.
Yeah, it's just fun to watch. And then people go, why aren't they on Real Housewives of OC? And I've asked Gretchen, and I'm like, Gretchen, why don't you get those girls, if you want to come back on? And honestly, I think they're just probably really nice, and they're just not, there takes a certain personality to be a reality star. And you should never be sad if you go out for it and don't get picked.
Of course, no, you
shouldn't-
have to have that
Because
thing.
it's not like you're an actress trying out for a part and you
No.
didn't get it, or a model and you didn't get it because you couldn't fit in the jeans. It is a unique personality, and you have to have all the other elements. You've got to be willing to share your life and all that stuff.
100%.
But like, yeah, if we could really see their life and the cameras were there, and like, I think
Would
it
it
would
still be interesting? We don't know.
We don't know.
I was rewatching OC, I think it was sometime last year, and I got to the season where Shannon came on. And just from the beginning when Shannon came on, she had the Real Housewife thing. You know what I mean? She
Yeah.
just did this
Shannon
shit.
Bedore.
Yes. And you were just like, she has it. That's it. That's a housewife.
And you know, when I met her, and I've talked about this, the first time I met her, I had posted like, I want to go to the SC UCLA game, like tweeted or something.
Because you went to USC, right?
Yeah, and I was close to Tamara, and Tamara goes, I'm going, and with the new housewife, and she's got great tickets, and you can come. You and Peter can come.
Stop.
So we went with Shannon and David Bedore
Shut
and Tamara and Eddie. And so I'm walking with her and I'm like, were you in a sorority? And she's like, I was. And so like we start talking about it. And so then I'm like, why are you doing this? Like, what's the story? And she's just like, I think I've got some interesting things in my life I'd like to share. And she's like, I think I can come up with, like, she almost said, like, I think this can lead to something else where I could have a career. Because at that time, she was a stay-at-home mom, but she was kind of a late-in-life mom. So she had worked and had a whole thing.
She understood what it took.
And then had her one daughter and had the twins at like 40, like dropped the eggs.
Wow.
Sometimes when you're older, you drop 2 eggs. So you sometimes have the twins when they're natural, when you're like 40. A lot of people don't know that, but that's the truth.
Crazy. Maybe
Yeah.
that'll happen to me.
Yeah. How old are you?
I'm 26.
Oh, God, but you're so young.
I know, but
So-
I have this fear that I'm gonna end up like alone, and then I'm gonna be this like career woman who's like, I gave everything to career, and I'm not gonna have like a husband or kids.
I have been trying to get this thing going on, but I did it in my day. You know how the secret works and manifesting stuff?
Yes, and I'm great at it.
Okay, I had something that I started when I was about your age called the anti-secret, where I would
you tell
see
me?
someone in my life. Maybe I personally knew them.
Yeah.
Maybe they were friends with my sister. Maybe whatever. And I would say, I don't want to be that. I don't want to be her. Or I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that to be me.
Yeah.
And I'd see it and I'd say, I don't want that to happen. Like one time there was this girl I knew and I was like a struggling like comedian,
listening.
Groundlings. No, probably not. And
Wait, you did Groundlings?
yeah, I did Groundlings.
Love. Okay,
Did you
sorry.
do Groundlings?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yes.
I just had Dana Moon on. Do you follow Dana Moon?
No.
She's super funny. She did a really funny.
Wait, was she on the episode that you dropped today?
No, that's
Okay.
Sarah Colonna.
Okay, yes.
But Dana Moon was another girl I found, and started doing all the characters from. She does really good impressions, guys and girls of Love Is Blind.
Great.
So you did a really funny thing. I'm going to get to about White
Okay.
Lotus, but she did an impression of Aubrey Plaza
So good.
with a guy that kind of looked like she found some
Like the-
friend of
yeah,
hers that
yeah.
looked like him, and it was just her coming out being like, "What are you doing? Why are you horny?
Mm-hmm.
Can I? Do you want me to help or?" Well, you know,
With the eyes.
so funny.
So
So
good.
she's so funny. But we discovered that too when she came on, that she was a Groundlings person too.
Love.
So where are you in the program? Or
I was right before the pandemic. I think I just passed advanced. So I
Okay.
would like have to go back to lab. But that's
Yeah.
really intensive. Did you do the writing program?
yeah, I went all the way to Sunday Show, and I was in Sunday Show for 2 years.
Incredible. Did you love it?
Yeah, I did love it.
I feel like
And
it's so
then-
different now.
And then I was friends with Jennifer Coolidge. She was like ahead of me.
Great.
And we talked on the phone the other day, and she goes, this other girl, Jennifer Joyce, who was my director, they were friends. And she's like, Heather, Jennifer Joyce said, this girl Heather says these things, you just got to meet her. So then we became friendly.
Yeah.
And then when they were voting on me, they had to vote to get into the main company.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to rollerblade by myself.
Was that like a...
Just something I would do.
Gorgeous.
Rollerblading used to be in. I don't even think it did any exercise. It was like not even good exercise.
Yeah,
because-
it's not even real cardio because like how
no,
much
you're
are you
just
really
rolling.
moving your feet?
You're rolling.
I'm scared to land on my face.
No, it's actually was super easy. It was
Okay.
like it's easier than roller skating, but it was a big deal back then.
And your legs.
Huh?
Your legs. You could show them off.
I guess I would wear little biking shorts. I had a
There you
fanny
go.
pack.
Yeah.
pack.
That's cute.
I'd had a Walkman. That's how old it was. How long ago it was, and I'd go to Santa Monica, and I was about to go, and she was like, Heather, I'm, gonna vote for you and everything, but like, if you don't make it, who gives a fuck? She was just like, it's kind of incestual and you can get stuck there. And when I talked to her the other day, she was like, I never really went back, like after she gave up her spot. She's like, I haven't really been back. I'm like, it's so crazy when I went back recently and I was like, hold on, we had 18 people in the cast and this is 99 seats and we couldn't sell this fucker out. Like, I was like, what?
Wow.
And I used to go to parties, like I used to go to clubs and stuff and invite people and put them all on the list.
Yeah.
And they were, because we couldn't sell, we couldn't really even sell the tickets. So, no, I did that, but then I didn't make the main company. So you went through the lab where you had like the...
No, I was about to go into lab and then
That's
the
like
pandemic
level 3.
hit and
Okay.
then I just started making the videos and lab's pretty intensive.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I just haven't gone back yet.
Well,
Maybe
whatever-
it's expired. I have no idea.
Whatever works for you. Like, I always
Yeah.
loved it. I thought it was like, I always tell people it's a great thing because unlike scene study that you have to really prepare and meet with someone, especially if you're like in level 1 or 2, you could have a whole nother job and just go there on a Tuesday night.
100%.
And be super excited to go there every Tuesday night and do your class.
Yes.
And then when you get to level 3, you actually write and have like a little performance on a Sunday afternoon.
Yes.
And then after that, you have it's basically the same thing, but you have 2 performances, one at the first half and one at the second, if they still run it this way.
Yes, I think they do.
And then you do the Sunday show, and that's for 6 months. And every 6 months, the main company people have to vote for you, which I always
crazy.
thought was a very weird thing.
It is.
And I'm not. Because it would be very competitive. Like I always felt like if someone was in the main company and they'd see somebody that was quite similar to them coming up,
Then they wouldn't.
they're like, oh my
Yes.
God, it's like a young Heather McDonald. Not that that was my case, but I'd be like, I don't know if I'd vote for that person. I don't know
100%.
if at that point if I was in that person's position in your career that your heart is as open as, to be like, oh, great, this is great.
Oh,
And You might
totally.
be kind of competitive because then if they come in and you're like, if there's a pretty, like you're the pretty girl, right? You're funny, but
try.
you're also very pretty. So it's like if there was some girl that was always the one that got cast as the hot girl in the main company and then you were coming up,
Right.
that girl, even though she might enjoy you as a person, might think you're really funny.
Of course, she's seeing
she
her
might
career,
be
yeah.
like, I don't want to vote for this person because she'll be competition in this small theater group.
Right.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was always like interesting. I mean, I learned so much there and I'm so happy I did it. But
Yeah.
I went in, I think I was like 18.
Yeah.
And I, like,
So wait, so let's go back to your life.
Okay.
Finish about the Shannon Bedore. First of all, I was going to say,
Yes,
Shannon
yes.
Bedore, though, she's very funny and she's brutally honest about her life
And
and
she's
her
just kinda quirky.
feelings. She's quirky and she's funny and she likes to drink and
Yes.
she's brutally honest about her life.
that's a housewife.
And that is what you need.
That's exactly what you
Yeah.
need. We don't know if these cupcake girls, they go on in their Tiffany blue, if they're interesting. That's why on Instagram, it's great to look at them in front of the balloon wall.
Yeah.
But are they a Shannon?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No.
That's a special breed.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So, okay, so you, growing up in Moore Park, did
Yeah.
you go to the public high school there or where'd you go?
Absolutely did.
Okay, so then
Yeah.
at 18, did you not go to college? You pursued acting or what?
Yeah, I mean, I was so bad in school. Like, I truly never passed a year of math. Like, I think the teachers just saw I had, like, a good personality. And they were just like, great, like, let's just, pass her. I think I
Yeah.
got, like, a 69.9, like, every year. And so it was very clear, like, I was not on the path to college.
Okay.
And so senior year.
What were your activities in high school?
Really not much. Facebook had just come out. I was JV tennis captain.
My activity was Facebook.
Yeah, I think so. I think it
you're a
was like
cheerleader?
messaging guys
Okay.
on Facebook, like the hot guys. I was a freshman. I loved the senior guys if they gave me attention.
Now, if the senior guys were hot for you,
Yeah.
were the senior or junior girls mean to you then?
So they used to, I remember this one time they passed me and I really wasn't, here's the thing. I wasn't that hot in high school, but my mom, every time I'd leave the house, she'd be like, people are lucky to look at you. She's like, you are just
well, you really
breathtaking.
You really are breathtaking. But
But
I had a mom that told me the same thing, but I wasn't.
See,
So
but
I walked around.
wasn't.
I walked around the earth like, hello.
Yes.
Like, why am I not on the homecoming court?
And that's what I thought.
Why
I
am
was
I
like,
not-
these people don't get it. I was like, what don't they get? Like, I was actually confused. But, like, it was before my nose job. It was before the self-tans. It was before I had my Sona
Oh, you had a
weave.
nose job?
Yes.
I would never know that. It's
Yeah.
a great job.
Thank you.
When I was in college, I just remember there would be, in my sorority, I just remember like 3 girls one time turned to like listen, and they all had the exact same nose.
Yes.
And that was a long time ago where everyone would get the same.
Wait, was that college, USC?
That was college. So everyone would
Yes.
get the same thing. And now I feel like there's so many better doctors and stuff, and so many
Now
better
they
ways
make-
to stay like yourself.
They mold it to your face.
Yeah.
Like my nose is still like, it's still large and in charge. It's still me.
Yeah.
You know, but it's just different. But yeah, the girls, I remember, I think I had made
How
out
old were
with-
you when you got the nose job?
It was right before the pandemic. I was like 22.
Oh, just recently.
Yeah, I was
kind of
22,
recently.
and then I had
okay.
to put a mask on it.
Well,
So I
that's
was like,
perfect.
How was this? Yeah.
I know anybody that got plastic surgery like right before the initial lockdown. Like my friend got
Incredible.
her eyes done. She got the like removal of the lid
Did
or
you
whatever.
like it? My mom did that. Sorry, Mom.
Everyone I know that's gotten now, I don't have that issue because I have the bone here, but a lot of my friends
great bones.
that get a little older, it's just like you kind of have that.
I think I might have it.
where you don't have the good you can't really put eyeshadow on it.
Right.
It's flapping a little.
Yes.
Everyone I know that's gotten it, it is the easiest.
Yeah.
Most like you just look like young and alert. Like it's unrecognizable that you got it done. So everyone I know that's gotten it done.
Do
from
they have the scar
South
here?
No, I don't see anything.
Okay.
My friend, like, if you get it, I've had a few friends do it in different states, and I'm just like, if that is your issue, it's a very simple
How lucky
surgery.
are you? How lucky are you
That I have the bone? It might eventually happen.
I don't
After
know,
I
it's pretty
drink,
high.
sometimes I have to put. Right now, it's not an issue, but who knows? But some people, you know, it's such a simple thing to do.
Such a simple thing. A little nip and a tuck.
So anyway, so you get so you finish high school.
Yeah, I finished high school. Well, senior year, it was, you know, like I said, like I was clearly not going to college. And I remember my dad picked me up from my friend's house, and I was talking to him, and he's always been like so supportive of my career. And I was like, I think I just have to pursue this and act full time. And he was like, I think you do too.
Now, did you do the plays or anything in school?
Really, no. My mom would drive me every Saturday to my improv classes, like
you were
Second City.
Oh, where were those? In Hollywood?
Yeah.
Oh, so you were doing that in high school?
Yeah.
So my son Brandon, he did a 1-week teen session.
Yeah.
Like before the pandemic, and Melissa McCarthy's daughter was in the class with him.
Cute.
And I know her too, so I was like, oh my God, we're like walking. So I said to him, he's going to be a senior, and I was like, I think you should do the older group this year for a week because you'll be able to drive yourself and just
Does
do
he
it.
like it? Does he want to do it?
He's always he'll always be like, but after he does it, he is like, thanks for making me do it, Mom.
Cute. Yeah, because it's a
But
lot.
yeah.
It's a lot for the.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially
Like I
like,
sent him to a camp, and he was like so mad a few
Wait,
years
what
ago.
camp? I did
the Catalina camp, and he was like
Okay.
furious with me, and he was like, you know, because they took away the phone, and but he had the best time. But he's like,
Yeah.
I'm going to send you to. How would you like me to send you to mom camp, where all you do is drink wine and order stuff
love
on,
that.
on your
What do you-
phone? And I was like, yeah. And when I
Please.
said, everybody's like, can we go
Please.
to mom camp?
No false eyelashes and like going to work. Like, please. Absolutely. I went to one camp. I remember it was like a really ritzy camp in Malibu. I think we went for like a couple days. Camp Keystone. That was the only camp I did.
I know that camp.
Yes.
Yeah.
We did that for a couple days. Anyway, yeah. So.
Okay, so you're like,
yeah.
I think I want to act, and your dad's like, fine.
Yeah, and my mom was like, you can do it
Your
for a year.
Are your parents married?
Not
still?
anymore.
Okay.
But we still do like Four Seasons brunch every Sunday at Westlake
With both of them?
with both of them.
How many kids are in your family?
My dad has, with my mom, he has 2.
Oh,
Before
okay.
me, he has 2 others.
Oh,
But it's
okay.
like us 4.
So
at a
your dad's
bougie
twice
breakfast.
divorced.
No, he was never married before.
Oh, okay.
My mom was his first marriage.
Oh, okay. And do you have any siblings? Oh, you said one.
Yeah, 1 full, 2 half.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. So it's great.
Yeah.
But I had no idea. Like, I always look back on it. I had no idea what that meant. Like, I wasn't going to go to college and I was going to pursue acting full time. Like, I worked at Bandits, Bandits Barbecue Grill in Thousand Oaks. Have you
Oh,
ever
yeah,
been
yeah.
there?
Yeah.
I worked there like full time because obviously I wasn't getting auditions yet. And I was like, this is so hard. I was like, I had no idea, you
Yeah.
know? But thank God it worked out. It took a while.
Okay, so what have you booked anything? Have you booked
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
So you have a good agent.
Yeah,
Who's your
but
agent?
now it's mainly just I'm with Stone Talent Agency and then Katie Management, but my social media manager like kicks ass.
Okay.
Like
so you're
honestly, I feel like most things happen just from social media now.
like Juicy Scoop.
Like Juicy Scoop, I'm
Yeah.
here, baby. I made it. Thank God I didn't go to college. Are you kidding me?
I know. There's so much that we can do now, which is what I love.
Yeah, and I feel like I am a control freak, and
Yeah.
I feel like social media gave me control of my career, where before I was just like waiting around, and now I can like I want to direct one day, I want to produce, and I feel like I'm doing that
Yeah.
with my shoots.
So, okay, so you start doing the Groundlings. You're going out on things, and like one of your other characters you do is kind of like this hot girl going to Dubai and Coachella and all this.
Yeah.
Like, tell me about this girl.
So she kind of happened this summer. I went through kind of this is so like cringy to say, so like a rebrand, I feel like.
It's not cringy, just tell it.
Yeah, okay. So I went through a rebrand, and this summer I was like, it'd be really, really fun if I did like different cities. If I did like a shallow LA girl going to different cities.
Yeah.
And the first city we did was I Am From LA.
Yeah.
Which obviously like I knew about.
Right.
And that like really kicked it off. And it was the first time I was ever like kind of like myself.
Yeah.
In a sketch. And then I just put her in Miami and New York.
And do you film it all yourself? Do you have someone who helps you?
Yeah, I have a team that helps me.
Oh, a whole team.
Really great. Well, it's two girls. It's primarily these two girls who run a production company who help me out. It's amazing. Like especially in my outfits, working with two girls.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And so tell me what now you are a pretty girl. You're in LA. And like I've said, I've been obsessed with girls that go on the yacht trips, go to Dubai, go get a weekend paid in Miami.
Yeah.
What inside scoop can you tell me about that world and what it entails? Do you have to have someone
I mean,
shit on you?
Yeah, you do. And I do it again. No. Every trip I can honestly say, every trip I've ever gone on, and I haven't done like the big ones to Dubai, but like say I'm dating a guy and he like pays for a trip and he's like wealthy or whatever. Any trip I've gone on that I haven't had control over, I've always had a miserable time.
Can you tell me one story?
I remember one time.
Like, how do you meet this guy? And how do you know that a guy is really rich and not full of shit when you start to date him? And do you only pursue rich people? Are you only excited to date rich people?
No, not at all. I dated guys without jobs for like 4 years. It was
I
like
know,
my
but
niche.
that's not fun.
It wasn't, but I don't know why. It was like I wanted a guy without a job.
Without a job at all while you're at the barbecue place?
Yes. Well, at that time, okay, so there were a couple different phases of my dating life.
Okay.
And thank God I did them because it really helped out my career.
Okay.
So
you got the material, right?
I learned who everyone was because I morphed into everyone's life. I was too afraid to pursue my own life. So from 20 to like 23, whatever guy was dating. Like, I remember I dated a guy in a van who like skateboarded at Venice Beach. I would sit at Venice Beach.
So
with
then
him.
did you become the skateboarding girl then?
Yeah,
Would you
for like 2 days.
Okay.
But then it didn't work out. Then he rode his van somewhere else.
Okay, and who else? Like, what other kind of guys did you date that you sort of changed your style or interest for?
Totally. I've dated the really rich guy.
Yeah.
I've done that, and we've done the trips. And
tell me about the rich stuff.
I mean, I think it's just, I feel like everything in that
Now, is this rich guy your age or
Yeah,
much
he was
older?
my age. No.
Okay.
No, I dated a guy who was
rich,
way
like
older.
from family or like?
No, self-made.
Oh, that's
But
hot. What happened to him?
We don't want to. It's like I have to work on my career.
Oh,
Dating
okay.
right now is really, really difficult.
Okay.
But when I was dating, it was fun. It was great.
Okay.
But what I've noticed, LA rich is completely different than East Coast rich. Like LA rich compared to East Coast rich is nothing.
I never knew what years ago when you'd hear in the press and throughout politics, 1%, 1%, 1%ers. I did not understand what a 1%er was until I stayed with Jill Zarin in the Hamptons and she took me around to the parties.
But
And
what a
I'm
way
like,
to find it out.
Now I get it. And I'm like, and why is everyone being so mean? They're fabulous.
Exactly. You're like, wait, I love this.
But I thought the same thing because being in LA and I grew up in LA too and born here. So there was always this Hollywood element. And then I felt like I knew there were really rich people in the SC world, but it was like, Doheny and like whatever, these families and Newport rich and stuff. But still, it was like you were rich, your parents are going to help you buy a house, kind of rich. But never did I even realize like, oh my God, no, this is like 5 generations wealth or this is, $50 million, one of 5 $50 million houses. Like, yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's a totally different thing.
And I think like the thing in that world that it's very fun, but everything is very disposable. I feel like. I feel like that's what I've learned, like being in like really, you know, I don't know. I feel so lame saying this. Like,
Just
but
say it. Who
if
cares?
I'm like at a rich party or like around those rich people, I feel like everything's very disposable because it is to them.
Yes.
And that's what I don't like.
People too, you mean?
People too.
Yeah.
And I don't like that, especially like it hurts my ego. I'm like, you can't throw me away. What are you talking about?
So who's throwing you away? The guys that you're dating?
No, I think like, you know, when you get in that rich circle, like I feel like things just don't mean as much to them.
Have you done the whole Hamptons thing and been with the kids in the white and gone to the nightclubs?
I have never been to the Hamptons.
Oh, well, that's got to happen this summer.
Oh, it's happening. I feel like it's going to happen. I've never even been to Europe.
Neither have I.
You've never been to Europe?
Well, I've been to Ireland twice, but once when I was 16.
Okay.
And once to do a show just recently, but I was in and out for 3 days. And, because I didn't go as a kid, except for that one Ireland trip. And then I didn't do it in college. And because I didn't want to leave SC, it was so fun. I didn't want to do like a semester away. And then I was pursuing my career and I didn't have the money. And then I had kids and they were little and I was working and I couldn't go. So this summer we are going to plan something.
Good.
And we're going to I'm like, I want to live like, I literally said, I want to live like a 30-year-old influencer, even though I'm old. Because I'm like, why is everyone else enjoying, like, why am I being so conservative with my dollars? Like, I need to go fucking live this shit before I break a hip.
Yeah, and you've worked so hard.
Yeah.
I don't want to break my hip.
Like, I don't know. Like,
But
I'm
now
like,
you can
I'm
live
still
like
like
a
young and
30-year-old
hot.
influencer.
Yeah. Like, I'm still young and hot and could go and have fun.
You're so young and you're so hot.
Thanks. That's why.
See? What else do you need me
No,
to say?
but like, so, okay. So tell me about like the rich guy that you dated.
I don't know. I
Without
guess there's
saying
been
names
a
or
f-
anything. Just
I guess
tell me
there's
what,
been a
tell me
few.
what you've loved and what was like an aha moment.
I mean, I think it's so fun being like, we can go wherever, we can do all this.
Have you done the private jet thing?
So I haven't done the private jet.
Okay.
I have not.
And have you thought about to get yourself known? Has anyone approached you to do any kind of reality dating thing?
Not reality dating. There has been like different reality shows approaching me, but reality dating, I feel like I would just totally screw that up.
Like The Bachelor, you never want to be on The Bachelor or anything?
No. I've always known I'm like, even when I was younger and oh God, like it's just so annoying. I think my ego gets the best of me. But like even when I was younger in high school, I was just like, I am an A-list star. And I was like, how do these people not see it? Like I didn't even drink in high school because I was like, just in case I get cast on a Disney show tomorrow, like I cannot have them see a raspberry Smirnoff bottle in my hand.
That is
I was
so
that
great.
strict.
I love that. That's great.
I'm really intense
Yeah.
about that stuff.
And so you've always been careful about what you've posted too.
I guess. I mean, God forbid.
Yeah.
You know what? I do wish I sent more nudes because I wish those leaked. Because they're great.
Okay. Great.
I wouldn't mind if my naked body was on the internet.
Yeah, who cares if it's a good naked
If
body?
I've said anything, like God forbid, I hope I haven't. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. So can you do some of your characters? Are you comfortable with that or no?
Which character do you want?
I want the girl that's LA born and raised.
Okay.
And she is, I'll give you a scenario, and she's
give me-
meeting me for lunch.
Okay.
Okay. I'm your aunt.
Okay,
I'm also very wealthy.
So
I
hot,
live in
yeah.
Hancock Park.
definitely.
And you're coming to meet me, and I'm asking what's going on in your life, and like who you're dating now, and where your plan is.
Okay, so
Do you have a name, or do we just call you your name?
Yeah, just call me Amanda.
Okay.
So,
And I'm also going to be a rich lady.
okay, I love that.
Okay, hold
Okay.
on. I wouldn't be wearing this, but like, Amanda, how are you, dear?
I'm good. I'm literally so hungover. I was at La Flora Room last night till like 2, and then we went to this guy's house, and like, it was crazy.
What was so crazy about it? You know, your mother drank too much when we were growing up, so I want you to be careful about alcoholism.
But I'm already an alcoholic. But is it really an alcoholic if it makes me stay skinny? Am I gonna get canceled for that?
No. And how are you staying thin? Because I realize that a lot of girls your age are embracing the curvier figures, and you know that's not really what we're about.
Yeah, well, like, obviously I told you. I just, like, when I'm hungry, I drink. It's, like, not that big of a deal.
Okay, good. No Adderall for you?
No, of course, but that's, like, a given.
Wait, I want to ask about Adderall for a minute.
Yeah. I've never done it. I've never taken it.
You haven't?
No.
Okay. And what other drugs have you done? Just kidding. Are you into the weird microdosing that
I
everyone's
love
doing?
a microdose.
Of what? Like a chocolate mushroom?
I
or
love a
what is-
chocolate mush.
And then what about acid?
I've never done that.
What
Stuff
about-
that alters my brain too much, I can't do because I'm already so up and down.
What about the Watakowski, whatever that is? What's that thing?
Ayahuasca?
Yeah, yeah.
I've never done that either.
Don't do
My
that.
friend did it with her parents.
Why?
They had like a rebirth or something. It was crazy. I don't know.
Nothing sounds worse to me.
What if you did that with Drake and Brandon?
I
what
never
if you did ayahuasca
ever
with Drake
want to
and
do.
Brandon?
I'm not into I'm not into like alternating.
I can't do it
drugs.
either.
Like when I drink, it's like to have energy or to like wind down. Like it's not
Exactly.
to. It's not to take my brain to a different stratosphere. Like I
No.
don't know. But I respect people that are into it. You know.
I like a microdose. It makes me stay. Am I allowed to say this? I don't
Yeah.
know. It makes me stay present. Like I'm in it. I'm here. I'm not in my head. There's no anxiety because God forbid.
Have you done like a Coachella VIP situation and been like a Revolve girl? You seem like the type that
I
would
went
do
to the
that.
Revolve party, but I have not been a Revolve girl. I can't
Why haven't
do
they
the
asked you?
cringy. They have. I think. Yeah, they did. But I can't do. I'm not a great like. This is what I'm wearing. Get ready with me. I'm not great at that. It's
and
very
you don't,
forced
and
to
you
me.
don't model.
No, I did one modeling shoot once.
Yeah.
And it was in the middle of Joshua Tree, and like halfway through, like first of all the pictures, my eyes are closed.
Why?
I don't know how to model. And then second off, they were like halfway through, they were just like, we should just keep her around for the jokes. And so I stopped modeling halfway through the day, but it paid well at that time.
So now, so you make money off the social media stuff.
Yeah, now I just get to like do my skits, do my thing. That's like my hub. I'm an actor.
And how many followers do you have on TikTok?
I think like 780.
And so you make money off of TikTok now too.
Yeah. TikTok's the best, and it brings in a whole new audience, and that's where I
Yeah.
get my girls too, because Instagram, I have my following from Instagram. I used to collab with this guy, Anwar, who's like huge OG Viner, cannot say enough good things about him.
Yeah.
But I got all of his like male following.
Oh, good.
So still to this day, you'll see comments on my Instagram being like, show bobs, show feet, wear your boobs.
What are bobs?
They like spell boobs wrong.
Oh.
They'll just put 1 O. But then on TikTok, it's like, girly, love your outfit. You know?
What I love about TikTok is that I have people that are like my fans.
Yeah.
But then a lot of people are like, why is this woman in my feed? And there's so many of the things we put on. I love reading the comments because they don't get it.
They don't get it.
So there's this, I did a bit where I was like, I'm so sick of people like being like, this was the worst celebrity I ever waited on, or this person looked to me, was, short with me or something. I'm like, fuck, are you pleasant every day? Whatever. So I did this character with a wig and a Southern accent where I said the worst celebrity I ever waited on. And I kept like doing the pausing, like, like a bad video where
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
stop. And I'm like, I did this whole thing and I'm like, and the worst person I waited on. And then I said, and her name was Heather McDonald. But in it, I say, she, asked for butter twice, and also, the bill was $88 and she tipped me and she only gave me $200. So people are like, why are you being such a, like, they don't get that. They didn't know it was
don't get
me.
it. Mm-hmm.
So they're like, why are you bitching that she gave you a $100 tip? But then a lot of people were like, this is so funny because like, they don't realize who she is.
Right.
And at the, so then I stitched it as Heather McDonald and I try to explain myself, and people are still like, you know what? You did ask for too much. And like, it's so funny that they don't. That's what I love. I love when someone's not. Have you found that where people come across your thing and they don't get that it's a parody and that you're doing a character?
Oh my God, of course. I remember I went on a podcast like last year.
Yeah.
And I posted this thing where it said, my mom always told me never to date a model because you don't want to wake up next to someone who's prettier than you. And I still believe in that, like, wholeheartedly, because like I don't wake up gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I don't want a
So
male
you
model
don't date,
next to me.
do you not date really good looking guys?
I mean, I do. I have a weird type. They have to be like weird and creative and like different and like their own boss and like, but they're not usually models. But TikTok
Yeah.
got so mad at me for that.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'd say it again. Like, I don't care.
I know, it's so weird when all of a sudden someone's just going off. You're like, it's okay. Like, all right.
But I'm like, good. Like, give me more comments.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll purposely like, I'll do Zodiac videos too. And
what are Zodiac videos?
Like, I'm a Scorpio. I am
Oh,
a
okay.
Aries. All that. And sometimes
So,
I used to,
you just do different characters of the.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you even study what the traits would be of that person?
Yeah. You just
Okay.
say a couple things, and a lot of times people are like, "That's so me," and I'm like, "I love
Every
that."
single one is this, okay? You can say this
Give it
about
to me, give it
everybody.
to me.
Okay. Okay, so tell me what your sign is.
I'm a
Whatever.
Scorpio.
Okay, Scorpio. So what I'm seeing, if I was a psychic, what I'm seeing
Okay.
with the Scorpios is, first of all, you're fiercely loyal,
Yeah,
but sometimes to a fault.
definitely.
And sometimes you're your worst enemy.
Totally.
Everyone else is encouraging you, and then there's this voice inside of your head that's like, no, it'll never work out. We got to change that. But that's who you are. And the final thing is that you're just crazy ambitious,
Yeah.
but there's times when you spend times where you don't do what you're supposed to be doing every day because you're self-sabotaging.
You get me. That's why they do so well.
It's literally every single
I know.
every single person would consider themselves fiercely loyal. Show me one person that's like, no, not
You know
loyal.
what? You're so right.
Yeah, and like totally, yeah.
You're so right.
I used to do Tyler Henry. Have you ever seen Tyler Henry? Yeah, he used to draw.
I love that.
And I used to so I'd wear like a wig, and I will
You're such a Groundlings girl.
and so like it was like I'd be like if you were the star, so you're like the star, yeah, you're the star that comes that like I
Okay.
and you're just
Oh, I'm like it's beautifully lit.
you're a beautifully
Tons of
lit
natural-
star,
yeah.
but I'm always like, okay, well, very nice to meet you, Amanda. Okay. I have no idea who you are. So I'm just gonna go with. Oh. Okay. 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 I don't know why they're telling me that, but is there an older, like paternal someone. It's not your dad, but I want to say it's like an older, like maybe a grandpa or great grandpa that has passed.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. And was it right? And you had like a special, like
Yeah.
I see him where I don't know why he's showing me this, but there's did you have like a doll when you were little that he was aware of?
Yeah, he bought it for me.
Yeah. So he's saying he's like very funny. He's a
Yeah,
funny
yeah,
grandpa.
yeah.
It's funny. He's saying that the doll was something that you guys used to. He was like, oh, there's my girl Amanda with her little doll, and okay, there's something that happened where he doesn't want you to feel bad about it because you weren't able to say goodbye.
Yeah.
And there was something where he had, I want to say there was something where, like right before he died, he couldn't.
He didn't have lungs.
He couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
He couldn't. So he's saying that that he's in heaven, he's happy, he's watching you, and this is really, it's like he's seeing you like a movie. What do you do again?
I'm a porn star.
Oh, okay, great. Okay, yeah, he's just happy that you're expressing yourself all the time.
Wow, thank you so
yeah,
much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do you imagine? I always thought about
Your
that
grandma's
too.
so proud.
I was always like,
No hate. No hate. No hate.
I've asked psychics because
Yeah.
I'm like,
I'm so into that stuff though. I love it.
I'm like, okay, so like, what if, I go, what if like you hate your ex-husband or you hate your husband and he dies and you're like kind of thrilled he dies.
Totally.
And then, but he really loves you. So does he still get to come around and like see everything? And when you get to heaven, do you have to fucking deal with him because it's his heaven to see you?
Yeah, that's a great point. Am I going to have to deal with the guys that liked me, but I didn't like back, but they still want to say hi to me?
In heaven. And then I'm like,
But that's not our heaven.
right, it has to be your heaven. But I'm like,
But is that their heaven?
yeah.
And does their heaven connect to my heaven?
Yeah, exactly.
And what if I want to see a guy, but he doesn't want to see me?
yeah.
I'm going to make that heaven connect.
And
I'm
then,
gonna tell you
and,
right now.
and I also was like, can they like see you? Like, it's like, oh,
Yeah,
your
can they just
parent,
look on
your
me for
like,
another?
can your parents like see you like boning your husband? I mean, and then one psychic was like, no, they're not going to see anything that they don't want to see. But I'm like, how the fuck do you know?
Yeah, how does she know?
Like, if someone's like, oh, like they're right here, right now, or whatever, then they just know, like, oh, we don't need, like, are my parents like, Bob, we don't have to go in Heather's bedroom tonight. Like, I don't know. How often are they around?
Yeah, but then what if I want them to come, but they don't want to? How does this work? Maybe it's just like inviting energy only. And like when I'm having, sex with someone, like I'm not inviting other people in.
You don't want the grandpa in?
Yeah, I don't think so. Not right now. But I'm so happy he's proud of me. The grandpa with no lungs.
Yeah. It's always like, there was always like, is there a tree? So weird. Is there, you have a house, you're thinking about doing some work on it, like your place?
At my apartment that I lease.
Yeah, and there's a big tree. Like I see a window with a tree.
Yeah.
And then it's like, there's certain times where it really makes a lot of rustling sound.
During the wind. Santa Ana's.
That's your grandpa.
That's my grandpa.
That's your grandpa.
Whenever I hear the tree.
Yeah.
Move.
That's your grandpa.
Moving and shaking.
But no, people that actually have gone to Tyler Henry, like my friends that have gone, that are celebrities, are
so
like,
jealous.
oh my God, he's amazing, and he knew this and that. And I'm not saying he didn't, but I just like to make fun of it because that's what I do.
But in conclusion, all horoscopes are fiercely loyal, and Tyler Henry is talking about your grandpa.
Yeah. Because everybody's grandpa's dead, or their great grandpa's dead.
Somebody's got to be dead.
There's
Someone's
always
passing.
some patriarchal figure, and there's always someone that had cancer.
I have not had it in my family.
You haven't had one grandma, great grandma, aunt,
No.
nobody.
That might be a lie. Maybe.
Yeah.
It was something with the brain. Might have been cancer.
Right. Well, that's
Might
the
have
thing.
just been memory
Even if you
loss.
said it wasn't cancer, then he'd be like, actually, it was.
It was.
You
Somebody's
just-
got to
he
have
didn't
cancer.
Know. He didn't know that that person didn't know
On your
it.
side?
For me,
Yeah.
everyone has cancer. Like once you get to like,
You got to go on that trip. You got to go on that trip now.
Not everybody. No. Like my mom didn't die of cancer. My dad did, but he lasted really long.
Oh, can I just say?
And then, but like, I just feel like that if I was a psychic, I would throw that out there because chances
it.
are someone close to you that has passed on walking on this earth. Everybody knows at least probably one person, unfortunately,
Cancer's a big
that
fish.
had
You gotta throw
some
it out.
type of cancer
Yeah.
complication.
Yeah. Can I just, the Christmas card, not a Christmas card, the business card of you with your parents.
Oh, yes.
Selling real estate.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That is great.
Thank you. Well, it's all true.
Listen, it's my life.
How do
What
you think?
can I say?
How do you think I feel when like Mauricio and his daughters have like a Netflix show, and here I was like, but I did sell a scripted version of that show way ahead of its time. No one had ever done a real estate show that I had ever seen, and they like loved it, but then it just didn't go past the pilot stage or whatever. So okay, let's talk about the Calabasas Mom. So how did you know about the British Virgin Island thing?
Because you said it.
Oh,
on
it was
Jeff
really
Lewis.
because of me?
Yes, Heather.
Okay, I just didn't know if it was coincidental.
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
No, because that day I was really tired. I think, I was really tired that day, and sometimes like before a sketch, I just get really nervous because it's daunting. Because if it's not good, like that's on me. It's because of no one else.
Yeah.
And I was just like, God, I hope like I do good today. And then I was listening, and you were talking about it on Jeff Lewis, and I was like, oh, I have to use that. And I was in the Macy's at
I
Sherman Oaks
really did
Galleria.
not know that. I just thought it was like you just fucking
You're a
nailed
muse.
it. I'm
You're a muse.
so incredible. This might be the most flattering moment of my life.
Well, here it is, right here on the screen, baby.
I love it. Yes, so I love what else about this Calabasas Mom character have you done? Because you do a bunch of them about this woman. Who is?
I
this
mean, it's
woman?
always just like the Nordstrom card. She's always flustered. She's a real estate agent. She kind of hates her husband, doesn't want to sleep with him, loves her kids, loves her family. Like,
Yeah.
I have a Palisades mom.
Yeah, what's the Palisades
She's
Mom's
much
like?
more chill.
Yeah.
She's like, family is my life. And
Yeah.
she talks like this. And because there's more time in the Palisades.
Right.
There's more money, so there's more time in the Palisades.
And she goes to that Erewhon where
Totally
Spencer Pratt is
does.
all the time.
Yes, and she does her Pilates rocks.
Yeah.
Like right above the Erewhon, and she's happy.
Yeah.
She would never talk about like her marriage drama to her friends.
No. She
But
knows.
Calabasas, they're shit talking.
Yeah.
There's more to do. They're on the freeway. Palisades, you don't really leave.
Yeah. why would
There's
you?
like
Why
two
would you?
different energy. So
Yeah.
you got to tap into that.
What other moms do you do in LA?
What I really want to do Malibu Mom next.
And what do you think the Malibu Mom is?
I think she's more like this. I think she's more quirky. I think she has a little bit more Stevie Nicks in her. That's what she is. She's like here.
you
She uses her hands.
You got to go and walk around and shop.
The
You gotta
Malibu Mart.
Malibu Mart. You got to go Lucky's.
And we're only taking the tables inside. We don't want outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
more of this.
Yeah.
I know her.
Okay, that's good.
I think, right?
Yeah, totally.
What other mom should I do? I'm obsessed with it. I've always looked like a mom. Like, don't I look like a mom?
Yes, I think that. Let me think. I want to say, like, when I was at the Groundlings, there were a lot of people that were in this a while ago that were into living in, like, the Los Feliz Echo Park situation.
I feel like she should be a young mom.
Yeah, that's like a hippie, like a little bit hippie, but also like a little bit hypocritical.
And a little bit bougie, a little bit judgy,
Yeah.
and not much makeup.
No.
Like
yeah.
freckles shine through, but
Yeah.
still a little bit pretty. Wakes up pretty. She wakes up pretty.
Yeah.
Calabasas Mom does not wake up pretty. And that wasn't a diss to you.
Oh, okay. No.
I'm not dissing you.
I don't think so. Yeah, I
Okay.
agree. I agree. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Palisades Mom wakes up pretty.
Definitely. Because it's like their homes are like, you know,
How could you not?
they're $8 million, but they're not ostentatious.
And I love that word.
Yeah.
I love that word. It's actually the only like really big word I know. I'm not lying. And it's ostentatious.
But like an $8 million house in Calabasas is a brag.
Oh, that's a big brag.
There's a billiard room. There's an
echo.
There's an echo. There's marble. There's a staircase.
But
It
Palisades is
might be a little
cozy.
bit dated because it was built 20 years ago. But
they keep redoing the inside.
yeah, and the Palisades house is just charming, beautiful. It's really updated too, and it's clean and it's simple. But also, if it was placed in any other place but the Palisades, it would look like just upper middle class, nothing to brag about.
Totally.
But there in the Palisades, it's, you know,
and
$8
it's
million.
one of those in the Palisades, they have those big homes that still feel cozy.
Yeah,
You know, it's like they host Thanksgiving dinner and it's like you can't hear the kids because they're in another room.
yeah.
But in Calabasas, all open floor plan. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
What kind of charity work does this woman do? The Palisades.
Calabasas?
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
or
or either one.
Palisades?
Yeah.
I think Calabasas, it's more like maybe it's more like feeding the homeless, and in
Right.
the Palisades, it's more about helping the kids.
Yeah.
I think it's that. Right? Do you agree?
So it's like going to another like school that's not
Yeah.
in your district.
Totally. Just
Yeah.
going to a public school,
Yeah.
helping out. That's what it is. Nailed it. Did it. That's the scene.
And then and then tell me about okay, so what I also love is that you were a White Lotus girl and you did a really fun video where if you were a guest at White Lotus and like you seeing all the different characters, I thought that was really funny. You should do that with if there was another big show that's now
Totally.
I don't watch Yellowstone, but I feel like that's a big show that everyone talks about. I might start watching it on my trip this week when I go to British Virgin Islands.
When do you leave?
I leave on Christmas Eve night.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
And so
That's
I'm
gonna be
like-
incredible. Yeah,
I know,
try
so
it.
I'm
I
like-
tried Yellowstone. I couldn't get into it. I don't know why.
Why couldn't you? Why?
I don't know why.
Why would I get into it then?
I have a hard time right now. Besides White Lotus, I'm having a really hard time getting into shows.
Me too.
Shows with meat. That's why I put on my mindless Real Housewives. At the end of the day, I'm good to go. Even Miami was a little dramatic for me. I'm like, I gotta
Miami
stop.
was good. Let's talk about before we end, because the Real Housewives. Now we're recording this a little before you guys have heard it, so you'll probably be maybe there'll be one more episode before. But I just finished the episode last night, which was they were still in San Diego
Yeah,
and they had the Marilyn Monroe party.
yeah.
And I went on Insta stories and I was like, I don't fucking understand what these women are fighting about. This is getting super annoying.
They just keep fighting about like being bad friends to each other.
There's
That's
nothing
it.
there.
That's it.
And I'm like, once Jen Shah leaves, and when you think about last season, why it was so good is the van of Jen Shah being arrested, and then the final hot mic moment of Lisa Barlow being horrible to Meredith.
Yeah.
Without those things, it's
What is
just
there?
and Jen Shah's so unlikable. I thought she was unlikable before she was arrested. I didn't like her. I thought she was a screaming, annoying twit. And then she gets arrested, and I'm like, ew, you've made money for 20 years off of like vulnerable people. Like, you're a loser. And then it's constant. I'm like, I don't understand why she's mad at Heather. Heather's like, I'm a good friend to you. I'm a good friend. I'm like, where is this I don't know where this show is going.
Yeah,
Like,
it's just and it was also like the scene with Jen Shah on the boat was just sad, and it made me. I was just so grateful that I didn't have a camera following me because I was like, would I ever throw someone's shoes overboard when I'm drunk? No.
But I guess if you're on camera and like that's what you're known for,
Yeah.
and then the other girl's like, it's fine, I'm rich, who cares? I'm like, what? Like it was just, it's just,
It's all over the place, and it's a little much, and it's a little hard to watch. And it's also sad.
I'll be curious what happens next season. Because without Weird Mary, the cult leader, and without Jen Shah, the criminal mastermind, I just don't know.
What is the show?
I don't know that there's enough to do in Salt Lake City to keep our interest.
Here's another thing about Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
I'm sure they have amazing restaurants, and have I been?
I've been to Park City and Salt Lake City.
Okay,
Salt Lake
yes.
City, I've done a weekend there, and I did not like it. It had a weird vibe.
But they keep going to this. It's like lazy dog adjacent restaurants.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you have a number on your table. Like, I don't want to watch the Real Housewives at Subway.
Yeah.
I want to watch the Real Housewives at Four Seasons.
And the Park City and Deer Valley, it's very pretty, but it's small.
Yes.
And it really is one street. It's Main Street.
Yeah.
That's where like Sundance, and that's where Meredith Marks' store is. And it's very touristy. You go there for 1 week. Like it's fun.
Right,
It's
but
pretty.
is it a whole show?
I don't know. I really kind of don't think there's enough scoop like happening there. So I don't know. And I like the girls and they're nice. And I don't want to see like anybody lose a job. I just don't know what they're going to do after this. I don't know how to
I'm
save
sure they're
it.
I'm sure they're having the same conversation.
I went to the church of Weirdo Mary, and she is an awful person. So I'm glad she's gone, and I'm glad that Jen Shah is going to be gone. But like, yeah, and then to again after last night not know what caused Heather Gay's black eye. I was like, all right, now fuck off. Like you have spread. Did you watch it last night? Okay, so you know how she takes off her glasses, and they keep showing that like someone tries to open her door. She was like,
yes,
she has her own place at that Airbnb where she's
it's
above
like
the garage
separate
or whatever.
cottage, yeah.
And so, we all know it's either going to be the door hit her in the eye or she fell and then asked someone to come help her with the eye. We don't know.
Right.
Obviously, someone didn't come in and like fucking rape her. Okay. So, like, that's not going to be the story. But they have like milked this out. And then last night, it ends with she takes off her glasses and Meredith is like, and
is that the season finale?
No, it's not the season finale, but we'll see it next week. And then they'll probably take a break off for Christmas or whatever. But like I don't know still. And like now it's just like annoying.
Yeah, I think now it's just annoying. And obviously they're, what's going on with Jen, they're still milking it, they're still doing it. But it's like we went through that last season and it's like now we're just watching her spiral. And if now like the door hitting Heather is the cliffhanger, I'm worried.
Yeah. No, that's exactly what Lala Kent said. She's like, I'm concerned.
I'm concerned. I am. And it's also Miami. I usually don't feel bad for Lisa.
And now you do?
I feel bad for Lisa.
Well, that hot girl, Spencer Pratt knows her.
The one Lenny's with now?
Yes. And we were right like months ago when it first broke because they were filming the show.
Right.
He was like, "Oh, she'll talk to you," and da-da-da.
Stop.
And then I don't know what happened, but I have Spencer coming in. So
why am I here? Get the girl in. We got hot off the press.
Yeah. But it's always so funny. Like, of course, the new girl is going to be like, "Oh my God, she's awful," and this and that. And it's like, have you ever dated like a divorced dad?
I dated someone who was going to be a dad, didn't know he was going to be a dad at the time.
Oh, he had
it was
like
a messy situation.
He had a baby mama.
Yeah, the whole time we were dating.
Did the baby come out? I mean,
eventually.
No, while you're with him? With him?
No, the baby came out after we stopped dating.
Okay. And did the girl know about you? And was it like a one-night stand or was there?
It was a one-night
couple?
stand. So he was older. He was 40. And I was 21.
Oh.
I just wanted someone to be nice to me.
And was he rich?
No, he had a roommate. What was I doing, Heather? Heather, what was I doing? He had a roommate, and then he had a baby with, like, one of my friends.
In where? In Moore Park or where?
No, this was in L.A. So he slept with, like, one of my friends.
Before you?
2 weeks before we started dating.
Okay.
We start dating for, like, 3 months. I end it, and then, like, 2 months later, I see her posting, like, oh, my baby daddy's in Paris, and this guy was in Paris. I was like,
And this was your friend, but you weren't that close, or what?
Yeah, she was older too, and she's a comedian. And so
Okay.
we weren't that close, but then I like put two and two together.
She's a
and-
stand-up, you mean?
Yes.
Oh my God, I
yes.
can't wait to find out who this is.
Yes, and then he was trying to get in touch with me, but I was like, leave me alone. I'm at Coachella, like I'm showing my tits to young men. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I called him. I was like, oh my God, congrats. And he's like, I've been trying to tell you. And I was like, it's okay. And I still get freaked out.
So do you follow either one of them, and is he like?
Follow both.
And or do they hang out with the baby together, or no?
I think they're wonderful co-parents.
Oh, they are
I think
good.
They're,
Well, that's
they're
good.
great and mature and great.
And was he a comedian too?
He was like a director, kind of funny, kind of not.
So what's your dating right now? Nobody.
No, I'm definitely dating. I'm
Do
like,
you do all the apps?
not anymore. I went so hard on Ryan when I was like 19, 20, 21.
Yeah.
I can't really do it anymore.
What famous person did you get to meet? You don't have to say the name.
No, I absolutely would. Honestly, no one.
No, Matthew Perry. Remember that story?
I totally remember that story. And remember Ben Affleck was on there too? Affleck?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And then like she posted. And then I remember this girl this summer was like, on TikTok, she was like, when you're having a bad day, but then you match with Shawn Mendes.
Yeah.
And she like posted on TikTok. I was like, dumb bitch. I was like, he's never gonna message you now.
I do think this, because we did some stories about these nurses that got fired for
I
talking
heard
about
that.
that.
Heard that.
And then this other plastic surgeon just got her license removed because she was doing a live stream on TikTok of a Brazilian butt lift, and the woman like didn't know. I really feel like people need to. It's not classy, and even the girl that. Who was Adam Levine? Even the one that went off on Adam Levine.
Yeah.
To this day, we still don't. There still is no photo of them like in bed together.
Totally.
And it was creepy. And I think he's listen. Even if he DM'd people, and which he did, so even if he never saw any of these girls, it's still gross that you're doing this and you're married with 3 kids.
Yeah.
But I'm also like, I don't know. Did it do that much for you, girl? In the end.
Yeah, I think
Like, especially if you are a clout chaser and if you are trying to date someone that's like a movie star or someone that like that's what you're into and you're a pretty girl, like keep your fucking mouth shut, because you actually might land someone, but you won't now.
exactly.
Like
that's
you
the
won't
thing.
now. Now they're gonna
Or-
be like, fuck, she's a kiss and tell. I never will fuck with this girl now.
100%. Or
Yeah.
if you're going to say something, have your business lined up and be like, and that's why I have this product. Like I
Yeah.
slept with Adam Levine, and that's why I have this product.
That
of
cleans out your
leggings.
vag, or-
Yeah, or something like that. Like follow it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, there was this one TikTok I saw that was like, I knew Adam Levine was capable of pure evil when I saw this tattoo. And it was like a zoom in of the California tattoo
Yeah,
on his
yeah,
stomach.
yeah,
And I was
yeah.
like, honestly, I could see it. But yeah,
Right.
I don't know. I haven't done like a real famous person yet. Because honestly, like I know this sounds annoying, but like I want to be the star. And
Yeah.
I don't think there can be 2 stars.
Right. And
So
you know
I kind of want a man to worship me.
Well, I do kind of think that there are guys that want that girl that is going to be not, I don't want to say lapdog, but the person that's going to make them the
rock.
star. They're the rock.
Yes.
They're the star, and they're pretty and they're beautiful, and they might marry you. They might give you a baby. They may invest $100,000 so you can design your own jewelry.
Of course.
Simple gold pieces.
And that's what the Real Housewives is made out of.
Simple gold pieces that you, the Malibu mom, can go sell at Blue, whatever that Blue store is, or
Planet
whatever,
Blue.
Planet Blue,
Yep.
and places like that. And you come
Absolutely.
around and you go to that little park and you push your baby and you have your beautiful nanny there
Yeah.
too.
Guys love that.
And then he goes on tour and he comes home. Like that can be your, but what's interesting is that like there would be part of me that like fantasized about that life when I
could
was like
never.
young, but I knew that like, no, like it wouldn't be. And even when I look back at like some really rich guys I dated, I was like, even if I would have pursued that more, there's no way that they would have been like to their mother and everything. Oh, Heather's doing the improv again tonight and she makes no money.
No.
Heather went on another audition and didn't get it. There's no way that those guys would have been supportive of my career.
Of course not.
Because they'd be like, why are you doing this? Like, we're rich. We live in Newport, or we're rich.
Exactly.
Like,
When I wasn't working, really, I dated so many more men. Men loved me. When I was like not as cute, really broke, getting eviction notices, they were like, that's my fucking girl. And now I feel like it's a little bit, sometimes they can get intimidated, even if they have a career of their own. And it's not like I'm
Right.
doing anything nuts, like I'm making my videos, but I do sometimes feel weird, like telling these super successful men, like, I gotta put my YouTube video up, I gotta be in the premiere. Like,
and
I don't
do they
wanna-
laugh at it and think it's nothing? Do they not realize that you actually are really good at it and that you are talented, or
I've had one guy kind of like,
poo-poo it?
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care. This is what I do. And most guys are really, really, really supportive of it.
I just remember dating this one guy, and it was for like maybe 3 or 4 weeks. And I had a good agent, so I was going out a lot for
Good.
commercials, little parts and stuff. And I'm like, so I have this thing, and he's like, so did you get that thing from a week ago, that other thing that you were working on? I'm like, no. I mean,
Yeah.
and he's like, well, when are you going to book something? I'm like, never.
That's not how this works.
I go, I've never booked anything.
So what do you want from
And
me?
literally, I've never had someone ask me. Like, my parents knew never to be like, did you get
What
that?
happened? Yeah.
Never. And I was like, but I guess to someone at home, whether you're the girl dating the guy doing that or you're vice versa, I can see why you're, after a while, you're like, well, how long are you going to give it, loser? Like, I get why someone might ask that.
No, of course. Like, because to them, it's like, you know, they go on a job interview and you do ask them, like, do you get it or not?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I was dating this one guy and he was like, she's an actress. Like, she's booking stuff. Like, she's doing pilots and stuff. And I was like, why?
Wait, about another girl, you mean?
No, about me. He would like
Oh.
introduce me to his friends that way.
Oh.
And I was like, are you trying to prove I'm working? Because also that pilot had no budget. Like I was making scale every single day. Like, let's not brag about that, okay? Like, just sit down.
Yeah.
Guys are weird with that stuff. They either
Yeah.
love it or they don't.
I remember I have this one friend, she was my college roommate, and she's very successful in business. And one time, so I was doing stand-up at this like place, and we were all hanging out together, and she had this boyfriend. And she was like, oh, I remember my old boss or whatever. And she's like, I remember my old boss, this, that. And I go, you know, have you ever not gotten a job you've gone out for? Like, I just asked her that because she's like a businesswoman. And she's like, oh, SC Song Girl. That was the only thing she didn't get.
Yeah, I can't relate to that.
Like,
what am I
every
going to talk to her
job
about?
she ever went out, she got. And I was like, and we're really good friends. And I'm like, wow, what a different life that we've had. We both
Totally.
worked really hard. We both have a lot to show for it today. But like the fact that like when you're in this business,
Yeah.
you go out for so many things that you don't get. There's so much rejection.
Oh, yeah.
And it just becomes like you don't, and then one day when you really think about it or ask another person, and then I wondered if it made the guy she was with feel uncomfortable because it was like she's so humble, she didn't really ever realize that till I asked her that
Wow.
every single thing she went for, she got.
That's amazing.
And she's a good, smart person. She deserves it. But I'm just like,
But
it
it's
is
just
kind
two
of
different
interesting.
worlds.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's so great. Well, I'm so glad you came in. Everybody, tell everybody where they can. I have your Instagram up here, but it's Amanda McCants, Cants, Mick, and then Cants.
Yeah.
And follow her. She's super funny.
Instagram, TikTok, YouTube.
Yeah.
That's it right now.
Yeah.
Juicy Scoop.
Juicy Scoop now. It's going to be the thing. No, but I really enjoy it. I love your videos, and you're gorgeous to look at. So
Thank you. Thank you so much for having
Yeah.
me. It was great. Bye. Bye.